French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife have arrived in the German capital for a three-day state visit. It's the first such visit by a French leader in 24 years and comes as the two leading EU powers look to put on a united front ahead of EU parliamentary elections in June. Both countries face challenges, including the rising popularity of the far right, the conflict in Ukraine and potential EU expansion. Well, Douglas Yates, Doctor of Political Science at the American Graduate School in Paris, says the meeting of the two leaders will be very different from the last state visit 24 years ago.
If we look at that meeting of Chirac and Schroeder back in the year 2000, Europe was different. It was smaller. They hadn't gone through expansion. There also was less NATO expansion. There was no war on the European continent, and China was just beginning its peaceful rise to power. Now all of that's different. But the three real big differences, if we want to summarize this, that Macron and Scholz are trying to overcome are first personality types. Macron is a charismatic, theatrical public speaker. Scholz is a technocrat, and he's soft-spoken. And those two personality types don't tend to get along very well. There's also the difference between Macron, who's a president with enormous presidential powers of foreign policy. It's almost like he's the decision maker alone, whereas Scholz is trying to lead a three-party coalition with the Social Democrats, his party, the Greens on the left, and the Liberals, Liberal Democrats in the center. And finally, Macron's got a medium-term, long-term strategy. He's safely been re-elected, and he's looking to create strategic autonomy. That's what he calls it for France, where Scholz is trying to get a budget agreement, is dealing with upcoming German elections next year, has a much more short-term focus.